Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Today is going to be my budget and debt update for April. So last month, I don't remember what I was talking about. Last month I was able to pay off quite a bit of my credit card from working all that overtime for my work trip. So let's go over where I am. So in April, if you haven't seen my other videos, just go watch another one. I don't want to spend a lot of time in this one talking about what I'm trying to do. I am like a big picture, but I'm changing a little bit of stuff around this month, but you'll see when I get there. So in April, I finished paying off my first credit card. Yay, go me. So that was $330 paid on that card, and then I was able to pay $1,000 on my second credit card. And then I paid $75 on my loan, and then because I paid so much on my credit card, I was only able to put $381.09 into savings. So which brings my total debt balance down to $9,096.76. And then my total savings balance is $3,746.30. And then my net growth was $745.33. So the best thing that happened this month was I paid off that one card, and then now I have my second credit card. So I've talked about in a few other episodes of this that I did get a third credit card to do a balance transfer. So I got a third credit card, and I actually I think yesterday, the day before, I went ahead and did the balance transfer on it just to get it over with. So I went ahead and did the balance transfer on the one card because I just wanted to get it over with because the 0% interest period is up in the middle of June. But then I still have a little bit left to pay on the card because I didn't get approved for quite enough to transfer everything onto the new one, which stinks, but so I was able to transfer $3,300 to the new card, which leaves me with a balance of about $2,500 on my other one. So I am going to be able to pay off about at least $600 this month, which will still be within the 0%. So that'll bring it down to about $1,900. And then I do have, so I know I'm going to get crazy and I'm like stressing over this, but I think it's going to work out in the end. I'm going just to avoid paying all that interest. Because when the 0%'s over, you do get charged interest on whatever you have left. So, and at like over 20% interest, that's a lot of money, even if there's just $100 in there. So I have enough in my savings by the time I pay. I'm going to be able to pay probably a little more than $600 out of my paychecks because there's actually 3 paychecks in May, but I still have a little bit after that, so I'm going to take my savings and just pay it off. Which I know is scary because I won't have that much left in savings, but I think it'll be worth it because then I'll just be able to put everything into building the savings back up and won't have to worry about paying off the debt. So, which is kind of like, for a while, ever since I've started doing this, I've kind of felt silly for trying to build up savings while I'm trying to pay off debt because it's like, you're not climbing and climbing and climbing, you're just kind of like back and forth, saving and paying off debt, saving, paying off debt, because if you have all this money, you really don't have it if you're in debt. So paying off debt is the first priority. So if I am, I've calculated like how I'm going to be able to pay stuff off. I did also consider not like including my student loan in this because even if I make the minimum payments right now, I think I still have like 7 or 8 years left on it. But and $75 a month is not that much, but I just want to get it out of the way, so I'm going to go ahead and pay it off in one swoop with all this. So in May, I'll be able to pay the remaining $2,500 on my card on the credit card number 2, and then that'll be 0 balance, and then I'll have just what's on the third credit card, which is the balance transfer one, and that's 0% for 18 months. But I'm just going to go ahead and pay it off quickly. So I will pay, let's see, June, July, August, September, and October. I divided it up, and so that's June, July, August, 5 months, yeah, 5 months, then if I pay $680 a month on that for 5 months, then it will be paid off in October. And then I will continue paying the $75 a month on my loan, and then I'll start paying $700 on that. And then after October, it'll take November, December, January, and February to pay off the student loan. So I mean, it'll probably be it could be a little bit sooner than that. It could also be later than that, depending, if stuff comes up. But so my goal is to have that paid off by February, and hopefully I'll be able to pay it off a little bit sooner, maybe before the new year, because like pretty much from now on, well, maybe from like June, July on to like December is the peak time for retail. So, which I work at a craft store, and so we get a lot of sales like for Christmas and stuff, but then we get a lot of stuff now because people are like, it's warm outside, people are decorating and things, so we sell a lot of stuff. And then like kids are off for school for summer pretty soon, so they'll be needing like activities and things, so we'll have a lot of business then. And then I'll get some overtime. So, and then also I am focusing on my business. So basically why I'm trying to pay this off so fast and save up money is that I've talked about this in my no buy update video too, but I'm going to expand a little bit on it here. So I've been back and forth, as you probably noticed if you've seen all these videos. I want to get the RV, didn't want to get the RV, wanted to buy a house, didn't want to buy a house, and then recently I actually went and looked at a house, like almost applied for financing and everything, and then found out that it was a terrible idea. It was, just to like give you the rundown, there's an area around here that is like, because I live in a subdivision now, and there's an area kind of farther out that is like more country. It's a lot of hills, a lot of like open land, like farms and stuff, and I found a house on 4 acres of land there. The pictures on the listing didn't really say like what kind of land it was, and it was just a trailer on this land. And so I was like really interested in it. I was like, oh my gosh, the land would be amazing, because one of my like long-term goals is to like do a farm, like an animal sanctuary kind of thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, 4 acres would be fantastic for that. So but I went and looked at it, and the 4 acres was all uphill, and the only flat part was where the house was. So I was like, well, that's not gonna work for that. But and I thought about it, I was like, well, maybe I could put the it was an older trailer, and they said the floor was kind of getting soft on it, which happens in trailers because they use like particle board for the floor. But my dad can fix it, just put plywood down and recover it. But it was like from the 70s. The trailer's like 47 years old, and you could tell it was like really kind of run down. I mean, it wasn't like awful. It's definitely not the worst trailer I've ever seen, but it just wasn't like it wouldn't last probably for a few more years before everything else started kind of going wrong with it. And I thought about, I was like, well, I could, tear that down and build another, like a small house on that land with like a permanent house, not like a trailer kind of thing. Which by trailer, I mean like double, like it was a single wide trailer. It wasn't like an RV, because you couldn't like sell an RV as a house. But so I was like, well, I could do that, or I could put my RV on there, because I do want to buy an RV eventually anyways. And I could just build a house next to it, but there's no room for a house next to it, like no room. So that was kind of out of the question. And before I even looked at it, I was like trying to find financing. Apparently it's almost impossible to find financing for a single wide trailer, especially one that old. So I tried like local banks, and I eventually found this place that specializes in trailer loans, and they could do it. So I was like, okay, great. Went and looked at it, and it was like, oh. So, which I'm not sad about it or anything. I kind of got my hopes up, and I like threw my plans out the water for what I wanted to do. So back to the original plan. Oh, it's really windy outside. So back to my original plan of wanting an RV, and I've had these problems with that. So I need my business to be full-time, like my full-time income by the time I would move into an RV, because I don't want to be like going back and forth between working and that kind of stuff. I mean, some people live full-time in RVs and they work like in the winter and then take off the summer or whatever, so, or vice versa, depending on where you live. And I was like, well, I don't really want to do that. So I was trying to find like stuff to do online. Like I even thought about learning how to code and do like web design and stuff. But I was like, no, I don't want to do that either. So I have figured out a way to take my business mobile, which would be amazing. And that I'll have from now until whenever I can save up that much money to be able to make that my full-time income. So once I do that, my other problem was I needed to find an RV that would be small enough that I can maneuver, yet be big enough to be able to, you know, operate a business out of, because I do have like physical products. It's not completely online, which I do want to move more of it over to digital and automated and stuff. But it was hard to find an RV with those specs. I did find one that I thought would be pretty good, but it's like not quite. But I think it would be now because I figured out something else that I could do. So I don't know how much you know about people who travel around and stuff, but there are people who take like cargo vans or like box trucks and stuff and convert them into like a mobile apartment RV kind of thing, which I think is really cool. That person wouldn't work for me like as my sole living space, because I wouldn't need a shower and stuff and space to work. But I was like, wait a minute, what if I use one of those as a work van as it was intended? And then they do make them, like Chevy makes one that has a pretty good tow rating, so I'd be able to tow an RV with the van. I wouldn't need to have like, because I thought I was like, man, how am I gonna get, should I get like a mobile RV, like one that you drive yourself, not like a trailer, and then pull another trailer behind it? But I was like, no, that'd be dumb. So if I get one of those, I could just convert that into a sewing studio space, and then have it like have cabinets and stuff to store my product in, and then I could just tow my RV with that, and then have my RV, a smaller one, just for me to actually live in, instead of trying to work and live in one at the same time. So I would need quite a bit of money to do that. I would have to probably finance the RV and the vehicle, and I want to save at least $10,000, if not more. Probably more would be better, before I try to do that, just so I can do the down payments and then be able to reconfigure the inside of the van, and then like kind of fix up a little bit on the inside, like paint and everything of the RV. And I probably should get like a used RV. I found this one that I really, really liked that had a ton of storage space. Like RVs are hard to find with a lot of storage space, or most of them are designed for like multiple people to live in, or to just travel in. Like they have bunk beds and stuff, and I don't need that. So like I would either have to tear out the bunk beds and like make a space in there for storage, or try to find another one. And I did find one that would be like perfect. It has a ton of storage. It's clear that it's made for like one or two people to just live in full time, because it has like a full kitchen and a full bathroom. It actually has a huge bathroom, so it's hard to find the smaller RVs. They kind of sacrifice the space in the bathroom, and some of them have what's called a wet shower, or like a wet bath, where it's like you pretty much have to sit on the toilet to take a shower. It's really weird, and that's like freaks me out. So I'm like, no, I'm not getting a wet shower. But this one has like a pretty big bathroom. It does have a wardrobe even in the bathroom, because it's in the back part of the RV, because some of them are like in the side or in the corner, but it's like the whole back of it is the bathroom, which is awesome, and which is important if you're living in it full time, because you don't want this tiny like shoebox for a bathroom, Then it has like 2 closets in it, which is unheard of. So yeah, I definitely want to try to get that one if I can, if it's still available. And so next month my numbers will be looking a little crazy, but I will hopefully have paid off my what was left on credit card number 2, and then only have credit card number 3 to worry about. And then then I'll focus on paying off that, and then my student loan, and then saving for the trip. So that's about it for this video. Let me know what you think. I know this was crazy, but that's how it's going to work. So I am pretty confident in this plan, and I think that I I can definitely do it by February. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss any of my updates and how I'm going to do this. And I will definitely, it'll be a little while, but I will take you all along with me on the journey of like doing the van and all that stuff. So that's about it. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.